As a real estate investor, I often come across many people who ask me this question: how do I know I'm ready to own a home? If you're one of them, here are 6 crucial questions you might want to answer to let you know for sure if you should buy, build, or just keep renting. Hi, I'm Iyinolakan, and this is Brief Design Workshop series. I help people navigate the famously difficult waters of the real estate and property world. If this is your first time, be sure to subscribe and click that notification icon so you do not miss out on any of the wonderful content that I bring you every week. This episode is brought to you by Brief Homes, Shongotedo, the providers of affordable housing solutions. For more inquiries, please go to www.briefdesignworkshop.com. Now, I have been looking forward to sharing some of these tips with you because I know they're really going to help you. So let's dive right in. The first question is, do you make enough money? Are you in paid employment or do you have a business of your own? How much do you make annually or monthly? And how much of that do you already spend on accommodation? This is pertinent because to buy or to build, real estate investors reckon that you need a lot of funds saved for both upfront and ongoing payments. Upfront payments include down payments and ongoing payments. In this part of the world, your income must be enough to pay off mortgage or bank interest and principal, or the cost of land, development levies, insurance if you have any, and other costs such as there's land use taxes. These attendant costs should not be disregarded as it can consume a very considerable portion of the buyer's income. If you're already struggling to pay your bills, buying or building will only serve to compound your money woes. Ideally, you should have saved up a considerable chunk of your down payment. And if you're not in the position to save up for the down payment of a certain house, you're probably not in the position to own such a house. Question 2. What are your spending habits? Do you already make enough money to own a home, but you're still flossing about town? To achieve this milestone of owning a property or building a house, you must take a hard look at your spending habits and change to stand a chance of being able to afford a mortgage or a bank loan or a home loan, or to be able to support your monthly installments on your building or payment plan. You might have to pop fewer bottles at the club, put off that European tour, or cancel that all-white lavish birthday party that you have lined up. Question 3. Are you a saver? Being able to afford the down payment is one thing, but making your house habitable is a different kettle of fish altogether. Even new houses act up. Electrical mishaps, a leaky roof, a bizarre flood. Shout out to my lucky people. New homeowners suddenly need cash saved up. Call it a rainy day fund. Lucky people, no pun intended. You will need to prove your mettle to save, or at least hustle more, to show that you are indeed ready to own a home. Question 4. What is sacred to you? Now, intending homeowners must think critically on this issue before they make any move. This decision must be based on facts and figures and what is sure rather than on emotions. For instance, an individual or a couple with a property investment war chest of 35 million naira must pre-decide what they want to get and in what part of town. If a detached house with a private driveway and generous yard space is what you cannot do without, then you might have to drive a little farther out of the city center to seek out a developing neighborhood outside of town. Conversely, if you need to be close to ready infrastructure and amenities, then you might have to downsize a bit to a terrace or a flat in an apartment building. After all, affordability scarcely coincides with the best terms. You need to think deeply on this issue, for it is easier to buy a second, much bigger house that is suited to your specs after you've owned the first and you're free from the annual dreaded landlord's hunger games. You really must be objective. Question 5. Are there hidden expenses? Unseasoned buyers or builders tend to overlook a lot of additional costs. Expenses such as legal costs, survey costs, development levies, government approvals, and the cost of shared infrastructure can pile up hundreds of thousands onto your payment plan. Prospective buyers or builders must research this carefully. There are challenges attached to home ownership, so be prepared, as this is not for boys and girls. Finally, question 6. What is happening in my market? Economic analysts tend to talk about real estate on a national basis, but the market varies from city to city and from one neighborhood to the next. Between the heavy cost of land in urban areas and its attendant wahala, plus the crazy process of construction and its risks, more middle-class families are leaning in favor of buying their first houses rather than building. For buying not only reduces the risk of the whole wahala, it also reduces the cost, because when families come together to live in a certain community, the cost of land per unit of house is reduced, as well as the cost and logistics of construction. Depending on how you answer the last 6 questions, which are: do you make enough money? What are your spending habits? Are you a saver? What is sacred to you? Are there hidden expenses? And finally, what is happening in my market? I believe I must have helped you shine light on this issue to help you decide if you should buy, build, or make it just there as you did. If your answers were favorable, great. If they were less than favorable, that's also fine. Owning a house is a terrific investment. It's like having children. They're blessings, but you don't want to rush into it. Be prepared, do your homework, crunch the numbers, and buy or build whenever you're ready. I really hope you found all that information quite helpful. So whilst you're here, please click subscribe if you haven't already done so. My name is Iyinolakan, and this is Brief Design Workshop Series. See you in the next video. Udaba.